Hey everybody, it's Adam Roxby here again, host and producer of the Student Nursing Times podcast. Welcome back to this video series where I try and explain how we go about making the show. If you remember in the last video we had a look at some of the equipment and the software which we use, and in this video we're basically going to be having a look at the workflow. So in essence how we come to form the idea for the finished product. So here we go. Now the first thing we want to take into account is some kind of release schedule. While we're not as strict on this as we maybe used to be, we still try and maintain a rough monthly schedule. The first week of the month is spent discussing ideas. Once we have decided what to do, we then spend the majority of the month actually creating the content, with all the elements to me hopefully before the last week of the month, for me to edit it and get it published for the first week of the following month. So let's have a look at this process in a little more detail. The discussions on the content take place in the forum. Here myself and other crew members suggest content for the show. Once the discussion is over, we then divide up the tasks and we all set forth into the creative process. This could be taking a voice recorder to interview somebody, or it could be just having a chat with another contributor over the internet. Once that is done, the finished recording or article, depending on what it is you're making, gets put over here in the Dropbox. As I've said before, the Dropbox is a file sharing system which we all use to share files between each other, so we can all see what each other are working on and contribute in a fluid and dynamic manner. All you have to do is drag the file into the specified folder and it uploads it automatically and is shared amongst everybody. Once the file is in there, I can begin the editing process, which I'll explain a little bit more in a future video. So let's go through an example of how we record with a segment of the show, for example. Now, I don't think I need to show you how to use a voice recorder. It's fairly simple. You just go up and interview your subject, upload it to the Dropbox for me to edit. What I am going to show you is one of the most common ways in which we get content for the show, chatting over the internet, whether it's myself and Mikey talking about his accident, or it's Tracy and I announcing a new segment for the show. We use this technique. Both participants would launch Skype and start a voice conversation. We then run a program called Audacity, the free audio recording software. We might do a little test to make sure that the audio is recording properly. And then we both count down and do a little clap. This is to make sure that when the two audio files are put together, they are perfectly synchronized. Then once the audio files are recorded, we can export them as a WAV file and then put it into the Dropbox. So that's pretty much it. Getting actual ideas for the show is as simple as just being mindful. Perhaps you've witnessed something in your practice that you think would be interesting to talk about. Or maybe you've read a fantastic article online of which you have some personal experience. You may be working with an amazing tutor or mentor which you think others would benefit from hearing about. The people who contribute to this show are not part of some elite upper echelon of nursing. As fantastic as all of our contributors are, they are simply students and nurses who have a few hours to spare each month, and hopefully during the course of these videos you will see the process is a lot more accessible than maybe you thought previously. So please do get in touch either via the website or contact me via Twitter, where I am at Adam Roxby, and I'll see you right here for the next in this series of videos.